a very busy few months over at New Mexico State University. The university introducing a new president back in April, in addition to a new athletic director just last week. This is the university broke ground on a new $15 million film studio and soundstage, as well as 50 researchers being named among the top 2% of scientists worldwide, an increase to previous years at NMSU, who is also seeing an increase in enrollment numbers as well for the fall semester. And joining me now is Dr. Valerio Ferme, the 32nd president of the New Mexico State University system. Dr. Ferme, thank you so much for taking the time and being with us here on the program today. You have been in your new role as president for a little over 5 months now. This fall semester being what is really your first full semester there on campus. What has that experience been like so far leading New Mexico State University?
It's been a great experience. We've actually done a lot of good things in the last few months. As you said, we have seen enrollments go up. The university's ranking have actually increased. We're the top national university in terms of ranking in the region, which is a real accomplishment. We jumped 70 spots. As you mentioned, we have great researchers doing work in water, in many of the defense, the Department of Defense industries, and obviously we are feeling very excited and energetic about what we're doing. And as you probably know as well, we now have new leadership in our athletic department, and that's something that is really has lifted everybody in that unit.
Yeah, and I want to talk more about that, Dr. Ferme, because you're 5 months in and you've already had to make a really big hire. Of course, last week announcing Joe Fields as the new athletic director at New Mexico State University. Kind of take us inside the process of that hire. What exactly were you looking for in an athletic director, and why is Joe Fields, why is he the man to lead this athletic department, who of course has had a lot of success in recent years, but also there's been challenges, most notably financial challenges?
Yes, I think Joe struck me as a kind of individual and human being, really, that has excellence at the forefront. As you know, he's been successful in every role that he's had. He's played professionally. He comes with great experience both at Syracuse and Texas A&M, working with student athletes, and I emphasize the student athletes. He's been terrific in emphasizing that his students need to graduate. So overall, I think his focus on not only creating winners, but also creating winners off the field has been very important. And you know, he brings youth. He brings a lot of really good idea, a plan. We're going to be working together to figure out how we can you know, diversify our revenue streams for athletics, put the foundation really at the service of the athletic department in certain ways. And so I have a really good feeling about this hire.
And then securing funding at the state level is something that you have been working. I'm sure that happens on almost a daily basis. I know New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, she was actually on your campus last week to help break ground on that new $15 million film studio and soundstage. What kind of impact do you expect this project to have for students as well as the community, the overall community in Las Cruces?
Yes, thanks. That's an excellent question. You know, we have a great creative media institute. We have 700 students in that program. So a lot of those students get to do hands-on work, and obviously the soundstage and some of the other buildings that we have where students can actually develop their trade in an industry that New Mexico has been really strong about for the last 10 years at least. And so from my perspective, it's a great investment. We have a lot of enthusiasm, and our legislators are also very supportive. So I believe that this is just the beginning of a new phase for the creative industries in our town, but also at the university.
And of course, the film industry also really gaining ground in Las Cruces as well. I mentioned this in the first part of our segment. Your first full semester at NMSU and fall enrollment numbers are in. I know they're up. What trends are you seeing, and kind of what do the numbers tell you?
So the numbers tell me a few things. One is, as you said, numbers are up. The only place where we had a slight decrease in enrollment is international graduate students, but every other area, online, on campus, our community colleges have seen increases. So what does it tell me? For example, our dorms are at 99% capacity. If you think that usually they're at 92% capacity, that tells us that people really want campus life. They're coming back in droves. You know, COVID took a little bit out of everybody, and in the last 2-3 years, we've been rebuilding that. Our retention numbers fall to fall are up. I see a real good trend. We're really focusing on keeping the students that we get in and graduating them. So that's also something that we're very excited about. Wraparound services, doing more with them. And so the trends that I see are all positive. And as I said, with our rankings going up, I just see this actually being a university on the rise.
Lastly, Dr. Ferme, what else has kind of emerged as a top priority of yours in the first 5 months on the job? And where do those priorities, where do they align with maybe how you envision New Mexico State University 5 years from now?
Yes, well, as you may know, I took a trip to all 32 county extensions during the summer. We have a representative from the extensions because of being a land grant institution, so we went around the state. That is a trend that I think the university is going to take very seriously. Our mission is to provide public service and education across the state, so we are bringing the rest of the state into Las Cruces, to campus. We're making sure that we are collaborating, that we're working as a system. And in the next 3-4 years, my feeling is that we will be really expanding our reach. We have the one online university, the Global, NMCU Global, which is probably the best one in the region. And we need to sort of leverage that because it helps rural communities where people cannot leave so easily, but also adult learning. Those are all things that in this day and age, with how industry is changing and people need to reskill, we have a leg up on many other institutions, and I feel that that's going to be something that we will have to adapt a little bit more in the next 4 or 5 years, but we are ahead of the curve there.
All right, Dr. Ferme, thank you so much for taking your time with us here on the program today. Best of luck to you, of course, your staff, faculty, all the students at NMSU for the rest of the school year and beyond, and we certainly look forward to having you back on the program in the near future.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me, and I look forward to the future with you guys. Thanks.
All right. That is New Mexico State University President Dr. Valerio Ferme. And coming up, the Texas